you like it or not, AI is becoming more common in our lives, professionally and personally. Well, we want to discuss new research now because it shows a growing number of people are using chatbots to address more intimate topics. New data from the AI Observatory shows nearly 48% of chats are not related to anything professional. Instead, users are asking AI for help on things related to health and their relationships. Shayne Longpre is the co-lead of the AI Observatory research project, and he joins us now to dig into the data. Shayne, good morning. I don't know if it should come as a surprise that people are evolving in the way they use these chatbots, but dig us into your results. What does it show, and what surprised you most?
Yeah, thanks, Errol. Great to be here. I think there are a lot of things that maybe aren't surprising, but should be maybe a little bit worrying. We started the AI Observatory with the goal of understanding how are people really using AI systems, because there's a stark visibility gap there right now. There are not a lot of reports or information out there in order to glean answers to this question. It's important to note also there's so many questions we have, not just how children are using these systems, how adults are using them, how that's changing over time, how that varies by model, but also just are people trusting these systems a lot more? And we find that they are. They're trusting it more with personal information around finance, around their personal health, around legal questions. And increasingly, we're seeing some indicators of more social dependence and longer-term, deeper conversations that play out both because users trust the models more, but also the models are playing more into supporting users in more ways than they have before. Yeah. So the answer is it's very complicated, but things are moving very quickly and they're changing very quickly.
The deepening trust and reliance is what strikes me, because anytime I've used a chatbot and I will notice a mistake it makes, I have it investigate the mistake. I will interrogate it. Why did you reach this result? It will say, here's why I made the mistake. I'll say, don't do it again. It'll make the same mistake again. Knowing that people are giving these chat platforms their personal information and knowing they trust the results they're getting, at what point does this become a real issue and a problem for people's actual development?
You're better than most people for pushing back on the models. I think that we need to remain more informed. So there's a big question, not just are the models giving accurate and healthy advice and steering people in the right directions, supporting them in the right ways, but also what are people seeking to do with the models? And there are questions there that really have gaps because there's some great voluntary reporting by companies that are providing, the distribution of uses. But if you're a researcher like me, an academic coming from academia, you care about, various safety questions, various questions around, as you mentioned, like misinformation and trust and over-reliance. And we can't answer all of these questions just from a couple reports. That's why we think there needs to be more investment in and support broadly in public infrastructure to collect this information in a privacy-preserving way from people, because there's so many unknown unknowns that are not being answered right now. And people are seeing one or two major reports that maybe aren't reflective of the whole picture. And we actually find by looking at several sources, it's not fully reflective, but people trust that signal when we need more research from more angles.
We need more critical thinking and more folks trusting their own ability to analyze. Shayne Longpre, anyone who uses an AI chatbot should read your organization's study. Thank you so much for being with us this Thursday. All right, friends.